Why do you do profiles or assessments when you start working with leaders? What's the value of it?
When leaders hire a coach or a consultant to work with them, generally it's because they have a goal or an objective in mind, maybe several that they want to reach. And they believe that they can reach it faster with some outside help, with an expert who can um, help them point out things that may be obvious, may not be obvious, but are helping them move to their desired outcome faster. That's the whole value proposition, basically, of coaching and consulting. And an assessment can speed up the process, because anytime that you're working with another person, you need to know if they get you, or if you are aligned, if are you on the same page. Good assessments, good profiles will speed up that process of getting to know one another. And besides that part, a good profile will also give the leader some information or some data, some insights that are measured and there's a science behind it that they can understand, so that they know, like, wow, this is really objective stuff and it's also actionable. Working with a consultant or a coach, they know what they need to do with it, and it's not highly theoretical, or it's not really hard to access that knowledge, that information. They have to spend a lot of time learning some new models or something like that. So that's the whole purpose of working with a profile or an assessment, is to get to their goal faster.
What's your preferred assessment or profile and why?
I prefer working with several sciences at once, because any one tool I have found is going to be limited. It's going to just tackle one aspect or one facet, one dimension, and the tools that are general can be helpful, but they're also limited in the sense that you can't get specific and detailed to where you have actionable advice. So here's what I mean. In personality profiles, one of the most popular ones out there is the Big Five personality profile. And it looks at 5 different dimensions. It's been researched, highly documented, has a lot of credibility among psychologists and people in that field. And it's useful. It's just one layer, though, of a person's makeup or their personality. It's the base layer, what we call base traits or base, characteristics. And then there's a mid-level layer, and then there's a high layer, high level, in which we talk about a person's story or their narrative, of their life. And something like Big Five doesn't touch that at all, doesn't get into it. And so it's a question of how many facets or dimensions can we quickly surface for a leader, and do we have a shared understanding between the helper, the coach or consultant in this case, and the leader? And does it get us to our destination or objective faster? My preferred tool that I work with is by TTI, based in Scottsdale, Arizona, and it's called the Trimetric series. It allows us to look at things like thinking patterns and value systems, and also the emotional intelligence or the EQ of a leader, makes it measurable with also some actionable feedback. And then what's this person's behavior style? What are their motivators? I want to understand all of these things about a leader's makeup on the front end, and I want them to really see it and have the language to be able to understand and express themselves much clearer than they have been able to up to this point. And so that's where I'm coming from.
How does an assessment help the coaching? Does it even ever get in the way?
A good tool should facilitate and enhance the coaching. That's really the point. Sometimes a client can really get into the tool and enjoy it, and they like the novelty of it, and that can be helpful to a point, as long as there's positive energy. But then if you start going on rabbit holes, or you try to really dig deep into the data, it can be a diversion. It can be a distraction. It can also be a problem if the client, if the leader in this case, really objects strongly to the data and starts arguing with the tool. And so now it becomes about, I just find this tool obnoxious, or it's just no good. And, they're arguing with it, defending themselves, and it's not really facilitating more insight and more dialogue. So either one of those situations could be a problem, and it can be a hindrance to the coaching. In those situations, I find that it's important to step back, maybe even put the tool aside for a moment and just refocus on the coaching relationship and the objective. So what are we trying to accomplish here? And how do we get there? Sometimes we have to take a pause, to slow down, or you have to pause to go faster. And that's true. And if you're getting sidetracked or derailed by the tools you're using, then the problem is with the tools or how we're using them. And we need to find a better way to engage.
If a consultant or coach isn't using assessments or not fully satisfied with the one they're using, can they contact you for training on this?
Yeah, so my primary work is with leaders in organizations, and I enjoy the sort of results that we are producing together, and that's the main focus for Leadskill. One part of our business, we do also take in a limited number of consultants or other coaches and train them on the tools so that they can be better at their craft. I enjoy those groups as well. And so if someone falls into that second category, and they'd like to get in touch with us, they're more than welcome to, and we'll do a quick call and see if there's a opportunity or a potential fit right now, and if we have the time to work together. So I would really like to extend the opportunity for leaders who are listening to this and thinking about hiring a coach or consultant to consider Leadskill as one of those options, and schedule time with us. Let's explore, let's look at the options. We'll make a recommendation or referral. And there are times that I suggest to leaders, hey, we are probably not the right person or the right firm for you, given what you're up to. And other times there's a good fit, or it's like, it's a perfect fit. It's a great match. And so that's part of our professional commitment, is to give recommendations that are appropriate for clients. And so you can reach us at leadskill.com. And there's also links in the description of this video where you can track it down and you can find a way to get in touch with us.